Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel and welcome to the Round 9 edition of 5 Things We Learned off the back of our Round 9 loss to the Blues by 15 points. It was a tight tussle at the MCG. We started well. They got the jump in the second. We kind of locked it down in the third and fourth and couldn't capitalise on some opportunities that the Blues gave us until they sealed it very late in the game. As always, we want to thank the sponsor of this series, Mornington Peninsula Brewery. Check out their website at www.mpbrew.com.au. Okay, let's get into it. Number 1, you can't fast track experience. And I say that because I felt like I needed a little bit of perspective when I woke up this morning. I woke up genuinely like it was a bad dream, and today was Friday and I was going to go to the G, and it didn't happen, but it did happen, and I've got to deal with that, and we've all got to deal with it. But in reality, it's another learning experience for Garcia, for Boxall, for Filippo even coming back, and we'll talk about him, Darcy Wilson. You can't fast track that level of experience that Cripper, Walsh, Mackay, Wiedering, these guys have, especially on the MCG, and this isn't an excuse. I'm just saying, when you've got an opening bounce and it's Boxall, Garcia up against Walsh and Cripps and Hewitt, it's going to be a test, to say the least. So it's just one of those things that we can't, play. We can't hope that Garcia is going to be playing like he's played 200 games when he's played 20. It's just going to be this gradual, there's going to be these growing pains along the way, and last night it felt like that. The week before it felt great. When the collective works, the youngsters really can, they feel like they're blooming, and then when everyone around them's kind of struggling a little bit and being beaten to the football, the youngsters really have to carry the weight, and when you're that inexperienced against an experienced lineup like Carlton, it's going to, more times than not, fall up short. But another opportunity next week, and they can continue to grow into their careers, and we just need to get more games into these kids. Number 2, no point starting fast if you fizz. And I say that because the amount of times we've talked about it this season where, we've not started games well, we need to start the game well, we need to jump out of the blocks. Well, guess what? We jumped out of the blocks against the Giants, we jumped out of the blocks against the Dogs, we jumped out of the blocks against the Blues, and we lost all 3. The Giants, it was 4-2, and we were flying and looking really good. The Dogs, it was 4-1, I think, at some point. And then Carlton, it was 3-1 pretty quickly. Playing exciting football. We did it very quickly in all of those games. And then we shut up shop for large portions of the second and third quarters. So there is absolutely no point in starting a game well if you cannot continue it throughout the game. And we just, it's kind of that false dawn where you're just like, oh, we're on fire, and then boom, it's gone. So that level of consistency is just not there at the moment. As much as it is important to start games fast, you've got to firstly maximize it on the scoreboard. We kind of did a little bit, 3-1, but I felt like it could have been more. And you've got to continue it in every quarter. There's no point. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose of it. So there's an ongoing trend there of us starting games fast and losing, which I'm not liking. And it even goes all the way back to the Port game. We started really fast against Port, and they pretty much dominated for the majority of that second, third, and fourth quarters. We just built up a lead in the first and kind of held on at that point. So there is a little bit of a trend there of fast starts and not being able to sustain it. Number 3, a positive from last night. How could I not mention him? But Mateus Filippo, to have him come back and to kick 2 goals. Filippo is ice cold. That is my point for this. You just know when he's taken those shots. Those 2 goals, they were clutch. Especially that second one was so important to give us any chance of winning that game. I think it got us within 3-4 points at that time in the fourth quarter from the holding the ball. And he's meant for the big stage. The way he celebrates as well, some people have problems with it for some reason, think he over-celebrates, but the kid's come back from injury. He's playing on the MCG in his first game of the season, and he's leading from the front. He's really trying to will us over the line, and the only downside is we didn't put him in the centre bounce at all when we probably needed some height and some X factor in there, but we're building him into the season. We'll probably see that on the weekend coming up. But for him to take those 2 opportunities, first game back, sink him, and keep us in with a chance of winning, that's huge for a player like him. And it's almost no surprise, really. And we all expect him to become something special and potentially, more in a leadership capacity as well. But yeah, absolutely ice cold when it mattered, unlike, some other players that just kind of fumbled in key moments. Number 4, contested marking is a major weakness. It is our Achilles heel, and it's no surprise. We're missing, we've been missing King. We've been missing Dougal-Howard for a lot of the season. He's back, obviously, but we're missing him. We just do not have enough presence in the air. Even Rowan Marshall, I felt like his contested marking this year has really dropped off. And for this to add to this point, we are the second fewest in the comp. Sydney are the lowest. Carlton are the highest. So we average about 5.9 per game. Carlton average nearly 12, so double. If we lose the aerial battle every single week, we rely on the ground ball and then obviously skills. And both of those things fluctuate. Whether we win the ground ball fluctuates every week. And if you get the ball anyway and into space, do we use it good enough? And that's obviously something that last night we butchered. We got enough of the ball, had enough opportunities to win, and we butchered it. But it's always kind of just sets us back that anytime the ball's in the air and it's going in long, you kind of feel like the other team's going to mark it, and we don't really have that player like, maybe Sharman has that 1 or 2 games a year where he clunks everything. We just do not have enough around the ground to dominate the aerial battle and even to stop the opposition from marking it. That's another downside, is our defenders just play in front, which annoys me. Like when Dukes was in front of Mackay, I knew Mackay was going to turn him inside out and take that mark. Wilkie started in front on Kerner when he took that one-hander. Start behind, see the ball coming in and punch it. I digress. I'm getting off schedule here with that point, but yeah, it's just contested marking, aerial awareness as well. It's just not quite at the level right now. And number 5, it's McRae or bust a little bit in that midfield. Looking at his stats, apart from round 1 when he had 34 and 12 clearances, our losses, GWS 17 disposals, Bulldogs 19 disposals. That's crazy, so low, well under his average. Brisbane, 26 disposals, and last night, 23 disposals. On the flip side, in our wins, Geelong, 35, Richmond, 31, 28 against Port, and 38 against Fremantle. So if you're wondering if we're in the game or not, and McRae's, he's under that 25 disposal mark, you're kind of thinking we're in trouble in the midfield, because we're only really winning those games when he's getting 35 plus. And, Steele was a bit better last night, but we just need more in there. We know that. It's an ongoing thing. Hopefully Filippo gets more time in there and we can get a bit more experience into Boxall and Garcia. But that's, like I said, with point 1, you just can't fast track that. It's just something that some weeks it's going to look great, some weeks it's not. Last night, the experience of Carlton in the engine room got the job done, and they kept McRae quiet enough that he didn't have any influence on the game. And when he doesn't have influence, we tend to lose, sadly. So that is my 5 things I learned. Put your 5 things in the comments, Sainers. Like I say every week, it is my favorite video. I love having that time to kind of reflect on the game. The review's great. That's already out, but that's very much my initial reaction. A bit more emotional. This, I like to just ponder on my points, and those are my points. So just to round it out, number 1, you can't fast track experience. Number 2, no point starting fast if you fizz. Number 3, Filippo is ice cold. Number 4, contested marking is still a major weakness for us. And number 5, McRae or bust a little bit there. If he doesn't perform, we lose. So thank you very much, Sainers. Put your thoughts in the comments. Please subscribe, watch the review, and we'll have all the content during the week in the lead up to hopefully a bounce back against the Eagles next Sunday. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, Sainers. Take care, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.
Get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.